What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I hope you like this video. This is your review for Bridgerton Season 3, Episode 3. So, Colin has been having, dreams of kissing Penelope, okay? And he wakes up and he realizes, oh my goodness, oh my goodness, oh my goodness. And he acting real funny, He comes down for breakfast. The whole family is already there. They be like, so you slept in today? And he was like, really? Did I? Did I sleep in? He was acting real funny, and they were giving him the side eye like, what's wrong with this dude? And we find out that baby Bridgerton done fell off the roof and broke his arm or hurt his arm really badly because he's trying to get a glimpse of this brand new invention, the hot air balloon that is coming to town, and they're going to do a, special presentation for the queen and everything. And, of course, that's where society is going to be. They find out that Lady Whistledown said really nice things about Colin, saying that he was, what a really good friend he was to do what he was doing for Penelope, so forth and so on. Now, Penelope, on the other hand, has been in her room for 2 weeks and has not come out, has not been seen in society. Her sisters are still trying to figure out how to get pregnant. We're just going to leave that right there. We're just going to let the sisters sit over there and try to figure out how to have a baby, okay? Now, Eloise goes to visit Penelope, and she apologizes. She said, listen, I inadvertently was the one that let the cat out the bag, and I wanted to come and apologize in person because that was not my intention. And Penelope says to her, listen, I wouldn't even blame you if you did it on purpose. Like, I wouldn't even be mad about it. Eloise was like, but I didn't, and I just want to let you know that I apologize. So Penelope was like, shoot, if she extended an olive branch, she said, hey, I got some new books. You want to come? And she was like, no, I have plans, but I wish you well in all your endeavors. I said, dang. So while this is going on, the king, the queen is trying to figure out who she's going to hook up Francesca with. And she's going through all her eligible list of, bachelors. And they come across Lord Debling. It's her and Lady Danbury. And she was like, Lord Debling is a bore, okay? All he cares about is wilderness and, animals. So no, I'm not going to set Francesca up with him, okay? Now we find out that Lady Danbury is a little distracted. And she tells the queen, listen, I got word that I have some unwanted and unexpected guests coming. And with that being said, yeah, that's kind of why I'm not here. And she said, well, you want me to banish him? Because I'll take care of it. Lady Danbury was like, no, you don't need to worry yourself with it. I'll handle it. We find out later on that this unwanted guest is her brother. Now, I'm going to just go ahead and say this part because the brother is flirting with Lady Bridgerton, okay? Now, Lady Danbury does not like her brother, okay? She is side-eyeing her brother. Her brother seems to be a nuisance. Now, I don't know if this is the same brother from the Queen Charlotte series. Is this supposed to be the same brother, or is this a different brother? But whatever it is, Lady Danbury is not here for him, and she is side-eyeing why he's there and how long he's going to be there for. And honestly, I trust Lady Danbury's, I trust Lady Danbury on this one. Okay, if Lady Danbury don't like him, I don't like him. I don't know why I don't like him, but I know I don't like him. So, we get to, our latest ball. And of course, the promenade. Penelope finally makes her presence known in society once again. And, of course, the people are whispering and looking at her side-eye. But here come Colin coming to talk to her, asking her how she's been, apologizing for not coming to check on her. And she was like, it's all good. I understand, why you ain't come to see me. It's all good. But they do talk. And they agree that, they probably shouldn't be seen together. That, what's done is done. You do what you're going to do. And I'm going to do what I got to do. And it's going to be what it's going to be. So we get to the latest ball, and of course, Francesca is there, and she's nervous, and of course, she don't like this stuff. She doesn't like feeling like she's on display. She doesn't like feeling like, she got to go through the rigmarole. She really just she said, I'll just go with whoever the queen hooked me up with. And her mother was like, Do you think that that's like, are you going along because you think that's the best suitor for you, or it's just the easier for you? And she was like, look, I just trust the queen. Like, whoever the queen say I need to be with, that's where I'm gonna be. Um, so of course everybody is maneuvering around the room, right? So we have Penelope trying to talk to some guys, right? And of course they clown her about, the rumor and everything. And, they kind of leave her standing there. And of course, so she goes back to her old ways. She just hanging out in the corner. And Lord Diz, Mr. Wilderness guy, they end up having a conversation. And they actually end up, having a really good conversation. They kind of, make a couple of jokes, and he kind of likes her a little bit, right? But on the other side of the room, Eloise's new friend done decided she needs to get her hooks in him because her mama done told her, listen, you need to find you a husband this season because it'll be damn near impossible to get you a husband next season. So you need to get it. You need to step it up. Your daddy done already said he cutting our budget. So you need to step it up so you can find you a husband with some money so that, you could do what you need to do. So, I can't think of the name. So the Mondridges are there, but they're still figuring out society, She done upped her wardrobe. He done upped his wardrobe. They sort of feeling it a little bit. They sort of kind of getting in their stride a little bit. But, and he gets invited to the hunt and all of that stuff. But what he finds out later on in the episode is he is going to have to sell his establishment. Because they said, listen, people in society, they don't work. So you can't be here running no bar. Even though it's upscale, even though it's an elite, private club, you can't be running it. So you're going to have to make a decision. Either you in or you out. You can't be 1 foot in, 1 foot out. And he was like, well, damn, like I built this. Like I love my situation. I love my bar. And they were like, okay. He said, well, I thought that we could make our own rules. He was like, there's a limit. Like you can make your own rules to a certain degree. Okay. Now, Benedict is trying to avoid all of the women. Okay, we see him walking around trying to avoid the women because the eligible ladies see him as a whole snack and a meal. Okay, so we see him, trying to avoid the women to the point where he ends up giving accompanying Lady Danbury around the room. Okay, now somewhere in all of this, Francesca gets a little stifled and she needs some fresh air, so she ends up going outside to get her some fresh air. And there's this mysterious gentleman that's out there. And he, I guess, trying to get some fresh air too. So they sit there and she was like, look, I ain't really trying to have no conversation. I'm just trying to see, because it was like an art exhibit or whatever. And he was like, yeah, me too. So how about we just sit here and not talk to each other? Now, he didn't say it in a rude way. He just said, how about we not talk to each other? Or was that a different one? Maybe that's later on in the episode. Anyway. We get to the day of the hot air balloon situation. And what is this? Oh. So Eloise and her new little friend are, she is plotting on Lord Doubling, right? And Francesca was like, didn't you see Penelope talking to him at the ball last night, the little soiree last night? And she said, I ain't worried about Penelope. And Eloise was like, well, listen, let me warn you. Penelope is not as defenseless as you might think she is. She is no shrinking violet. You might want to watch your back with that one. And she was like, I ain't worried about her. Are you going to help me or not? She was like, I mean, I help you, but I'm just telling you, you might want to watch your back with that one. So we are there. So we are here the night of the hot air balloon. I'm sorry, y'all. That was the next ball where Francesca is outside with the stranger. My bad. I got them mixed up. They be having 2 or 3 balls per episode. So the queen is out there. And the queen to introduce Francesca to somebody. She done brought somebody in. You know how the queen is, honey. So Francesca sits with the queen to watch this hot air balloon situation. We have all the Featheringtons in the house. We see the 2 sisters with their husbands, again, trying to make some babies, okay? And Penelope is there, and she is looking for Lord Doubling. Because why? Because Lord Doubling kind of gave her a little attention the night before at the little ball. So she sends her little secret message to Colin to meet her in the little bakery hut so that they could talk without being obvious. So she basically lets him know, look, I think I done found me somebody. Okay, Lord Dublin, he kind of gave me a little conversation. I gave him a little conversation. I'm feeling a little something, something. And Colin was like, really? Is that, that's who you think? That's what you think it is? And she was like, yes, like your lessons worked. Thank you very much. Now, Colin is not happy about this, okay? Colin is not happy about it, but, he not really sure why he not happy about it. He really ain't sure why he not happy about it. Now, while that's happening on the inside of the little hut, we have Eloise and her new little friend flirting with Lord Dublin down by the hot air balloon, right? And he's talking to them, and she's saying all the things that she thinks he wants to hear. She's talking about how much she loves nature and she loves the animals and oh, it's so terrible what civilization is doing. I mean, she's really trying to say the things that need to be said, child. And he's a little intrigued, because again, he's looking for a bride and, he got to see what's out there. He can't just settle with the first woman that he has a good conversation with, So, they're so, they flirty a little bit or whatever. And then Penelope sees it, and Penelope immediately, she tries to walk in the opposite direction, but he sees her. Now, he ain't thinking about, they fighting with it. He invites her to come over and join the conversation. So Penelope is saying everything she thinks he wants to hear. Eloise's new friend is saying everything she thinks he wants to hear. And they both looking foolish, right? Fighting over this guy. Now, while this is going on, Colin is giving a side eye to the whole situation. And Benedict is trying to hide from the women. So he ducks into a tent where they're giving like the whole breakdown background of hot air ballooning, what it is, what it looks like, how it is, the whole breakdown. And he ends up, talking to a woman in there, the only woman that's in there, by the way. And she finds him to be very, he's talking about how he's trying to hide from the ladies or something. And she was like, oh, really? That's what you got going on? That's what you're doing? And he was like, oh, my bad. I didn't mean for you to overhear me. And she was like, yeah, well, I did. I overheard you, And they kind of have this little back and forth, You already know what it is. Later on at the ball, the one that I, got mixed up with the first ball, they get the flirting. He finds out she's a widow, but she says she ain't looking for no husband. But they have a nice little waltz down to the ball situation. Now, while this is going on, the Featherington sisters are trying to get pregnant. So the one sister then took her husband behind the tent so they can, I don't know what they was getting ready to do. Because I don't even know if they figured out how to actually have a baby yet. But they was kissing and smooching. And then somebody saw them kissing and smooching, which caused the husband to fall and trip over the rope that was holding the balloon together. And it was a windy day and the balloon started floating away. Colin says, wait a minute, help me. He picks up the rope. He tells the rest of the guys, y'all, come on and help. And all the rest of the guys come running and they start pulling the balloon and trying to keep the balloon from floating out off into the air. But just at that moment, the balloon is going towards where Eloise, Lord Dublin, Penelope, and the other girl are. And the rest of them get out of the way except for Penelope. Penelope is just sitting there staring at it like she's like stuck. She can't move. And here comes Lord Dublin. He comes and he saves her at the last minute. And just at that moment, the pilot for the balloon gets on the balloon and he floats off into the air. And everybody claps. And it's a successful moment for everybody. Except for Eloise's friend who was in her feelings. Okay. So now we get to the ball. My bad, y'all. I had already jumped ahead. I apologize. But we see Penelope flirting with Lord Danbury. We see, is her name Scarlett? Anyway, she flirting with Lord Danbury. And Penelope is losing the fight, right? She's just ill-equipped. She's losing the fight. Old girl is getting his attention, getting more of his time. And Penelope is doing what Penelope does best. She's starting to get in her feelings a little bit. finally, though, towards the end, she goes up to him and says, listen, I don't care nothing about no grass. I don't care about the dirt. I don't care about the birds. You know, I'm just lying, okay? I don't want to be somebody I'm not. I don't want to try to, you know, be disingenuous. But this is, you know, this is who I am. I said, am I calling him Lord Danbury? Lord Doubling. Um, And like I said, this is also the ball where we find out that Lady Danbury's brother is there, and he was flirting with Lady Bridgerton. And this is also the ball where Francesca finds herself outside with this stranger. Now the stranger is also black, so I don't know. I mean, did he show up with Lady Danbury's brother? I don't know who this little boy is. Okay, but that is pretty much the episode, you guys. I'm sorry that these are coming in late. I'm gonna try to get caught up. Anyway, with that being said, I'm gonna talk to y'all later. Peace.